Yes, indeed, the Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole Studio in Bobcaygeon. This is the solo Terry Show. My good friend Jim has taken some days off, well and earned holidays, I think, or is it fear of the weather? It's an ice rink in the driveway. Ice rink, I should get my skates on, get them sharpened, get out there and play some shinny, slap that puck against that clangy steel garage door, a double door, lots of dents in it already. Nobody would know if I slapped a puck or so on it, would they? Except me. I don't want to make work for myself. I'm with my good friend Jim, who seems to be, what do you say, Jim? Effort deficit disorder? Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm sort of with you at that point. Not making work for myself, but doing things that I choose to do. Sometimes they need to be done, but most of the time I'd like to think that I can choose what I'm doing. The blessings of retirement years when you are able to not worry quite as much about getting up at 6, getting to work by 7. Yeah, all that stuff. And the weather. Are you still worried about the snow? As I put my garbage out this morning, I thought of the drivers who have to drive those who put the garbage out. Maybe I was the only one who could make it to the end of their driveway in the morning, but I thanked him for his service in doing the job in inclement weather. And the same goes for everybody who has to deal with public inclement weather in the course of their service of their job, either public service or private carriers or other stuff that has to be done that somebody's got to do it. Postal service, neither hail nor sleet nor whatever those things go in the American Postal Service. Well, people still do that here. Well, kudos to all of you who are facing inclement weather in this brutal Canadian winter. It seems to be unusual. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way, but I'm tired of winter. I want to get a sun lamp and just put my feet in a bucket of warmed sand and a beach towel and a kind of reclining chair and make the best of the winter, hoping for visions of sun and sand, of beaches, of picnics, and maybe I'll get a submarine sandwich and just say, hey, I would have taken this and a coffee down to the lock and watched the boats go by. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Yeah. Am I getting in the mood? Oh, other things that are funny here. I was talking about service, and I thanked the recycling driver driving those big trucks and thanked him for his service for the community and picking up stuff. I don't know if anybody else made it to the end of the driveway or not, but I thanked him. And I'm thinking of, here's a shout out to Canadian A, my brother, and a conversation that's now a music song. This is a video produced by Canadian A, and it's about riding a motorcycle. And whether that's in our mind's eye as we get older, because we're not doing it actually, but we're looking back and reflecting on memories of our youth. The conversation that my brother had with a retired American officer in the American service, armed services. So when I was thinking of thanking for your service, I think of all those Canadian military, all those in service defending democracy. Life goes on post-retirement when you retire from the armed forces. And I think of all those people who struggle with PTSD, some form of whatever, whether it's based on combat service or in war zones or peace. I think of our own Romeo Dallaire, who suffered from great trauma from watching the genocide in, I'm going to say, Rwanda. It was awful. And that's just the ones who were supposed to be peacekeepers, PTSD. Imagine the combat zones. Imagine the Ukrainian forces. I think it's awful that these things exist, but I think it's great that people can retire if they are able to and get out. And in this case, my brother interviewed this fellow because he's an overcomer. And so here's a dedication to Earnie. Earnie is the subject of the video about riding the motorcycle. And although he has some health concerns, he's an overcomer. And I use the word resilience to talk about people who despite the adversity they face in their life, will not choose to succumb. They will overcome whatever the odds are. And to me, that's an amazing thing. So there's a sidebar. I didn't know where I was going to go with this, but to give Earnie a shout out, and maybe that will bring him some joy as an overcomer through adversity, and as he has conversations with my brother, to know that conversations get shared and that people support you even though they don't even know who you are. It's the same as dear Jim and his brother Bob. You know, we do what we can to support people, but it's important to know you are connected. And we have these, what is it, Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation. I don't know that there are 6 degrees of separation, and maybe sometimes 1 or 2. Sometimes it's more than 6, but we're all connected in some kind of web of connection. And it's who you know and who you know, who knows who you know, and it starts to get really wild and freaky when you start to think of connections, of who knows who. And I think of a local shop in town here, someone who worked there, who my wife encountered, who turns out to be the daughter of someone who grew up in the same neighborhood 2 doors down from where I grew up in the East End of Toronto. Talk about a small world. And there's more occasions like that. My mother-in-law, bless her for her baking on this Christmas season, and I certainly enjoyed it. So here's a shout out to my mother-in-law for all the goodies that I have enjoyed the baking season. But she's got stories after story of people who grew up in Scarborough, who then moved into the Kawartha Lakes area. And she finds them all the time and encounters them in all kinds of places. It's a small world, after all. Not that I want to promote Disney, and not that I want to promote magical thinking at all, and magical kingdoms in Florida. But, you know, we are connected, and it's important to see that. And as we move into 2026, which is maybe another theme for this podcast, 2026, what are your goals? What are your aspirations? For some, it's to continue to be on this side of the soil, you know, not to be 6 feet under, to do whatever it takes to stay active when you've got joints that are giving you some pain. It's easy to hang up the spurs. It's easy to say, I'm getting down off of this horse. It's easy to say, I don't think so. I don't think I can. That's the name of a Wigmore Allen Gibbons song. I should plug that one. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. It's the opposite of the little engine who thought he could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. But sometimes it feels like the cup has already been drunk. There's nothing left in it. And definitely you feel like you cannot. I don't think I can. Well, maybe turn it on its edge. I think I can. I think I can. The little engine that could, maybe should, and maybe did. What's that story all about? Surviving, thriving, overcoming the challenges. I think that's 2026. So, world peace, do we hope for it in 2026? What's your prognostication? What's your hope? I hope for it. I hope, I'm hoping for the end of this extraordinary catastrophe that is the Russian attacks on Ukraine. Yeah, Putin wants peace as he sends 600, 700, 800 ballistic missiles and drones. Yeah, I think we'll have peace. But after you give me everything I want, no, that's not peace. Peace at any price is what Chamberlain tried in 1938, and look where it got us in 1939. So, yeah, lessons learned. Boots on the ground, I think, is the only way to end the Ukraine war. I'm not advocating, I'm not a war hawk, but darn it, somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to step up and give Putin a shot in the nose and say, back down, buddy. And usually that would have been the U.S., but it's not. So let's see. Let's see who it is in 2026. How about the Middle East? How about Gaza, Palestine? How about rebuilding? How about can we get food? Can we get supplies? Can we get medical services? Oh, gee, there's so much to hope for in 2026. And then there's Venezuela, and then there's Nigeria, and the list goes on. Jim and Terry Show. Never tired of talking, but gee, get some things done. Cross them off that list. Bye-bye for now. It's complicated, this relationship I have with my